We're going to use SEToolkit again, and this time what I want to do is I want to create a website attack vector. I've got the ability to select different attack methods. I could do a Java applet attack method. I could do credential harvester attack method. There are a number of things that I can do here. What I'm going to do is the Java applet attack method, and I'm going to use a site cloner. In this case, I'm not going to say I'm using NAT or port forwarding because I'm just playing around on my local network. If you did have NAT and you were working with that, you would have to figure out where you were going to use your web server IP address. What I'm going to say is 192.168.86.22. My payload handler is not on a different IP address, and I'm going to use the applet that's built into the Social Engineers Toolkit rather than creating my own. The URL that I want to clone here, we will say O'Reilly.com. And so what we're doing actually is we're pulling the HTML down from the remote site. We're just storing it locally. What I can do here now is just say interpreter memory injection, and the port listener is going to be, let's say, 4455 because it doesn't really matter all that much. We're going to use Windows interpreter reverse TCP, and we're going to now load up the Metasploit framework in order to generate the payload and start up our handler so that we can actually listen here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the web directory on my local system here. And I can already see that I've got a jar file that was created. And if I say cat index.html, I've got the java.class that was plugged in at the very bottom. And if I scroll up some more, I should be able to see that this is the O'Reilly website. Just by looking here, you can see O'Reilly Media. What we did was we pulled the HTML down, and then the Social Engineers Toolkit at the very bottom plugged in that malicious Java applet. The only way this is going to get anybody is if I can get somebody to come to my website right here on my local network using my 192.168 address. So I'm not going to be infecting anybody at all here. I would have to get them to come to that page in order to get them to load the applet that is in place there and hopefully exploit them. And then you'll remember we've got the version of the Metasploit framework running with just the payload handler listening for connections back on that IP address. We can use the Social Engineers Toolkit for web attacks pretty easily.